Here's the tip of the day if you're masking. Okay? And you will, if you're doing painting, you will mask. Never, ever leave your masked item out in direct sunlight, especially glass, like that right there. Okay? This is what's going to happen. You don't need to leave your masking on for 24 or 48 hours or whatever. You don't need to. But if you have, especially this kind of tape in direct sunlight on glass or whatever you're masking, the sun will take the adhesive in this bitch and it will weld it to whatever you're working on. And I mean absolutely weld it, especially glass. What happens is, if you have car glass or any kind of glass, what happens is it will come off in teeny tiny strips, and it will take you hours to get it off. So when I mask this up, as I've done, I have got my lines where I want them. It doesn't have to be perfect. I use green tape. It's all I had for right now. Doesn't matter. You can see all the edges down here where none of the tape is hitting on, well, that's going to be gray right there, so it doesn't matter. None of the tape is hitting on anything that's going to be painted. Now the sun is shining on that. The first thing I'm going to do with this thing is take this and stick it in my shop. Now you may run across this and it will save you a lot of heartache, especially with glass. Right? After you mask something, get it the fuck out of direct sunlight. And when we paint, we're not going to paint in direct sunlight. We may paint in late evening, the morning, whatever. But what I will do is I will paint in this area right here instead of direct. What the fuck? Was it a ghost? Jesus. I don't know if today is going to be a good weekend or not. Anyway, that is my tip of the day. It's just as warm as it is out there, right here. Except with direct sunlight, you're going to get like 10 times as much sun. You're going to heat the surface up of whatever you're doing. And think about this for a minute. Have you ever seen a body shop? Have you ever seen a body shop spray a car outside in direct sunlight? Never. Even if they had fans, everything else, they'd never do it. Because the sun would heat up the body too much. Once the paint hit, it wouldn't even flow. It'd flash. It would dry immediately. Now I'm going to go over this again. I have a little bit of dirt on there, but I wish I had a thermometer to show you the temperature. After I get this where I want it, I'll turn it over like this, and I'll go on these edges right here to about, I don't know, a ½ inch down. Just a little bit. Nothing fancy, nothing. All we want to do is put some scratches in it so that the paint will have something to stick to. And if there's any water coming down the back or whatever, it's not going to get under the paint and make it peel this way and off. You just want a good sealed surface. This is the reason we do not wet sand cars in the shop, because you get all this crap right here in between every panel. And there are 100 panels in a car. You can't get it out. Wet sanding is the perfect way to go. If you have panels that are removable and you can get to the back of them like this. Now I've gone over and I've gotten the front of these vents. Let me show you what I've done here. First thing we've done is got the flat panels. As far as from here all the way over, not up here, but all the way over right here and down. Okay? Then I start working on the edge right here. Remember, this part right here is an edge. The more that you rub like this, I don't know if you can see my hand, but you're going to put more pressure on this one area right there. So you got to be careful about that. So I do that kind of last. Then what I do is I come back and I get up in here. Even though I know the seat is going to cover all the way like this. All the way around here. I gave special attention to this place where I pop the seat open. I do that because, well, underneath the seat is the on-off for the gas, petrol, whatever you call it, fuel, deciliter, petrol, don't get me started. But I got this really good, and then I came back in the back and got it good. Not really good, but just good enough. Do you see all the dust and the bullshit back in here? Okay, you're thinking, well, what's it going to affect the paint job? It's not until you get that little nozzle right there spraying air through these holes right here, or these holes down here, and there's some dust on here you didn't notice, and that's going to blow onto the paint job, which we don't want. Don't have to be perfect with everything you do. You just have to be aware that in order to get a very clean paint job, we have to understand the paints we're working with, the pressures we're working with, and how to avoid the problems so you get a perfect paint job. Now you're saying, you know, this guy's had a few beers, he's talking too damn much. Maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe I don't. I'm in my 50s, I'm tired. I still think I'm 17 even though my body tells me I'm not. And all I can say is hold your judgment until everything is done. After we start painting, then we're going to go on to a whole new phase of painting, clear coating, refining the clear coating. After that, then we're going to get into artistic work of decal placement. What looks good, what doesn't. That's the next video.